Hello, entrepreneurs. Joe DiChiara here again, once again, bringing you another great episode of how you can win big at business. That's right. I'm changing the name of the show again. I think I announced this yesterday. So if you're watching, please give me a hashtag live. And if you don't know me, I am a CPA that was tricked a long time ago when I was 17 into becoming a CPA by my dad. I actually did not know that that meant I was going to be an accountant. But here I am, 35 years and thousands of small business owners later. I'm sitting here talking about, how to start a business, how to run a business, how to grow a business. And, I have a couple of really amazing things to share with you tonight. And one of them is that not only am I going to be, I'm live now, but I am going to be live again in about 30 minutes with a very special guest. I don't even want to talk about who it is because I want it to be a surprise for everybody, but it's definitely going to be educational, enjoyable, hopefully fun. And the other thing is that I want to start talking about how you can win at business. Not just talk about it, but I want to start sharing with you some of the things that I do, because everything I teach about how to win at business is stuff that I do myself. So, my friend Haley Gray likes to call this, I eat my own dog food. I like to say I practice what I preach. And one of the things that I've learned that they didn't teach me in CPA school, and I say that a lot, is that the need to, number one, surround yourself with people that are a lot smarter and more successful than you, which is actually something that my mother told me like when I was 5 years old, only in a different way. So, now mom becomes a genius. And another thing is a lot of the stuff that I learned that really helps people become successful in business and in life are fundamental things that I've been told my whole life. I just didn't put them in sequence. I didn't relate them to the results that I want. And in business, because that's what I talk about only business. The results that I'm looking for is that at the end of the day, I have more money in my bank account than what I started with. That's the initial concept. Now, how you get there's a million, a trillion indefinite ways to do that. But there's definitely the same beginning and the same end result, one way or another. Either you're going to make a profit and stay in business, or you're going to lose money and just keep losing money until you have no more money and you'll be out of business. So there's only a couple of different kinds of results that you can get. Okay, and that's where I break this down to be scientific. Because what I found, now tell me if you could relate to this. You start a business and all of a sudden you feel like you're supposed to be doing, and you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing next. There's a pile of papers. Or how about this? I just answered this question on a Facebook question, that the person had this problem with junk mail, that it would pile up. Okay, it would pile up until it became unmanageable, and then she would spend hours cleaning it up and getting rid of it, and then it would just pile up again. Well, it's pretty simple when you think of it. It's math. If let's say 10 junk mail letters come in a day, and you don't look at that for 2 weeks, let's say 10 days, now you got 100. That becomes a job. 10 of them, if you look at 8 of them right away, you know the junk mail. If you just do it every day as part of your routine. Okay, somebody just talked to me about a book called Eat That Frog. And I don't even want to get into it because it's pretty disgusting. But the fact of the matter is that it's a fundamental fact that the mail will pile up if you don't put it in your routine to address that on a regular basis. When you don't, only bad things happen. So what's the problem here? The problem isn't that the mail is piling up. The problem is that the proper routines, the proper procedures are not in place. And those little things, those little nuggets, and there's a lot of them, is what keeps businesses from being profitable and making money. Now you take that one little, and I know that everybody has it, and it's not just junk mail, because there isn't too much actual junk mail anymore. I mean, now there's electronic junk mail, but it's the same exact principle. So I have friends, I see business owners that have 20,000 emails that were never even opened. They're still in their inbox. Now, to me, that's a major distraction. Okay, it's just, and maybe that's me, but the way I manage it is, yeah, I get a lot of junk mail, but I have a routine. Every time I go on there, I get rid of the ones that are coming in that are junked. In other words, I don't let them just sit there and then come again and again until when I got thousands of them. Okay, it's a simple routine. And the other extreme is when there are too many routines. Like, and I have that with clients. They make it, you know, when there can be 2 steps to achieving something like preparing a payroll or getting bills paid, there could be 2 or 3 steps, and there's 5 or 6. For instance, they're saving the document in a folder here, and they're attaching it over there, and it's all, you know, spinning your wheels. That's not a good way to run a business. That's not best business practices. So where does that bring me to tonight? What I really wanted to talk about, and you know, it always comes down to organization. That's my specialty. And so people have put together the fundamentals already, so I don't have to figure out what the fundamentals are. They're already, that's why they call them fundamentals. I think they don't change. So they've already been laid out by individuals through trial and error. So I can just look at those fundamental principles and dip into them, like the mastermind principle. And part of that is having a coach. Because when you have a coach, it's to say you've created a mastermind. You've created a mini mastermind. And I have a coach, Larry Broughton. I speak about him a lot. He was a mentor for a long time. And now I just had the chance to hire him formally as a coach. And one of the things he had me do was this entrepreneurial StrengthsFinder test. And it was really fascinating because I had done it before, but nobody actually explained to me what it meant. And I'll share with you my strengths. My top 2 strengths are connectedness and learning, which is absolutely in line with why I love doing masterminds. Okay, it's my top 2 strengths combined in one. But the reason why I bring this up is, you know, Larry is a high achiever and basically, you know, owns a nice company, owns hotels, anyway, this is about me, not about Larry. I'm paying him. He's not paying me. But what I learned in this is to organize my strengths. There was a time when I thought I needed to focus on my weaknesses and fix them. No, what I need to do is find other people to handle those areas, that not that I'm so much weak at, but that I don't really enjoy. It's not my comfort zone. It's like a task. So anyway, it was really eye-opening, and I'll follow his advice because that's what I'm paying him for. I say, if you listen to a Facebook Live and you learn something but never use it, all it is useless information. So, I hire Larry, and he says that anybody that I hire, I should have do one of these StrengthsFinder tests. Now, I think it might cost like 40 or $50, but what this it did one other thing, and I'll tell you what. One of my weaknesses is building a team. Not that it's a weakness, I just never learned who I was supposed to hire, how. It was a task for me. And so what Larry's taught me is you don't want to hire yourself, which is what I did all over the years. And I never understood. I'll give you an example where I was teaching bookkeepers how to start their own bookkeeping business with the intention that they were going to work with me on my clients. And what happened a couple of times was I taught them the bookkeeping system, and they wound up getting their own clients and didn't have enough time to work for me. Well, that was because I was looking for people that wanted to have their own business like me. I should have been, looking for people that just wanted to learn how to be a bookkeeper. And that worked. But I hired entrepreneurs. So what a surprise that they went and started their own business. We could have franchised or something. That was an option, but I guess they didn't see it that way. But I did. But anyway, that's history. I'm on another journey right now, and part of that journey is what I want to share with you with my special guest after this, because what I've come to discover is that I need and desire to have a tribe, something that I never thought I wanted or needed before, and that's something that I'm working through with Larry. But things like being involved in a mastermind is that community, that connectedness that I found through my entrepreneurial strengths finders. And so with that being said, I don't want to forget, the actual purpose of these Facebook Lives is to connect with people. That's my primary purpose, which is to connect with people and help them start, build, and manage their own small business successfully. So with that being said, I have my mastermind with DiChiara every Saturday at 2 p.m. and Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to invite you to join us. It's free right now for the time being. We'll see how that goes, but it's part of building a tribe, building a following, not just for myself, but for the people that are in the tribe, because it's not just one tribe. It's everybody. There's a bunch of tribes, and your tribe, what I found out, can be a small tribe. It can be 10 people, as long as it's, and that becomes a mini mastermind. Okay, but the point is, I hired Larry. I did what he told me to do, and he gave me a list of 100 books that he recommended, and he told me I didn't have to read all of them, which is good. But the better thing is that I've already read a lot of them. One that I didn't read, and he told me I need to read, is a book called Tribes by Seth Godin. And Larry told me explicitly in big letters, do not read it. He said, buy it, but don't read it. So as soon as I got it, I started reading it. And you could see by that, I don't know if Larry's watching this, but I'm sorry, Larry, but you know, it's like saying, don't think of a pink elephant. Okay. And you knew that I was going to read it. So, you know, and Larry talks about, well, actually, this isn't Larry. Seth Godin talks in here about tribes, and he brings up the Grateful Dead. So, you know, they were actually geniuses. Geniuses. You know, people used to say, how could they're giving away their music? Yeah. Well, talk to a deadhead. You know, they're still alive and still making money from their tribe. Okay. And so I'm going to end it with that. Connect with me by going to mastermindwithjoe.com. Then you'll be on my mailing list, and I'll get to send you all kinds of unsolicited stuff until you opt out. Or maybe you'll like some of the stuff that I send you, and it'll help. But I want to leave you with this book, Tribes by Seth Godin, which I did read from cover to cover in about more than a day. But anyway, the special guest that I have coming on in about 10 minutes is going to explain more about how important it is to have your own tribe and why you need one. And that's all I'm going to say for now. All right, I'll see you back here in a couple of minutes. Thanks.